So I'm gay. And we're with Hamilton. And we just wanted to introduce you to our two communities that are really close by here. So the one is in Tayside, in Pleasant Grove, but we're just 2 blocks away. It's called Tayside Farm, and we do townhomes there, and then we have single family homes. So right now we have 8 quick move-ins, and we're offering a 3.25 BAC. They're ready to go. And so I will leave these. So if you want to pick them up, it has all the information on them. But they're all 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And we have like some specials. We have a few of them. The interior unit is going for $450. And do you guys have any questions at all about this community? It's just, you should come and visit us. It's really cute. We have 2 model homes that are staged. Yeah.
Question. So are you offering anything inspired?
Yeah, we're buy down. Yes, we are. We're offering the 2-1 buy down with our preferred lender.
Did you get it?
No, I don't think I did. But that's what we are offering. And definitely bring in all offers because we are negotiating. So you guys have, I might have this on me and I'm like feeling really. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So come visit. It's a really nice community. It's just right behind Evermore.
And did you say the price range?
So we have the interior unit. We're going for $450. So the base price is usually like $460 for those townhomes, and then we have the single family homes that start around $525.
Yes, okay. And then we have Lakeshore Landing, which is my favorite community. It's by the lake. It's in American Fork. Did you guys been to Lakeshore Landing? There's a lot of things over there. We have some great deals going on. We have a quick move-in, so if your buyer's looking for a quick move-in, it's for $599.90, and we are offering or we can really tailor it to whatever your client really needs. If they need more for closing costs or things like that, we can tailor it to them. But our starting prices are like $500 on our Rambler, and then 2 stories, which we say is probably starting around $590. We have a new floor plan called the Jefferson that a lot of our buyers are liking. So if you have a buyer that wants an office on the main level and needs 4 bedrooms, you might the Jefferson might be a good for you guys. That seems to be one of our best offers right now. Just because of quality build and having that office right for a lot of buyers. You have to do a lot on the second level. So anyways, it's really good for now we start work from home. So anyways, just come and see us. We're open basically every day from 11 to 6 for Sundays appointments. So anyways, that's us. So thank you so much for your time.
We do have sorry.
You're good.
We do have other communities. So you can go to our website. It's just that basically we wanted to come here and introduce the communities that are closest to you. So we kind of work ones down here. So if you were interested in other ones, we can put you in touch with the agent that is up there.
We love you. And it's no HOA. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Should we just say Mama's back?
Okay.
All right. And if you need a copy of that flyer digital, all of our friends on Zoom, let me know and I can send you. All right. So we are so lucky to have Tyler Okeson today here with us. He's going to teach us about the basics of short-term rentals. One hit go, certain hit go. The best way. That work?
Sure,
All right.
let's do it. Okay. My name is Tyler Okeson. I'm actually, I'll just go on the next screen because it'll tell a little bit more there. So, first things first, anyone in here had a short-term rental or want one or know about them? None. Okay. Stayed at one? Okay, okay. Stayed at one? I bet you do. So a couple quick things about myself. I've been married for 16 years. I have 4 kids, all the way from 5 to 14. I'm a season ticket holder to the youth. Been that for about 10 years. But having short-term rentals in Provo, I cheer for BYU because they come and stay there when there's game and pay me money. So I'm happy with that. I speak English, Portuguese, broken Spanish, technically broken English too, but we'll figure that out later. I've had my real estate license since 2020, and I currently right now have 18 short-term rentals. We've been doing that since 2019. The way that we do short-term rentals is slightly different than some other people. We do what's called a rental arbitrage. What that means is we will actually go to the owners themselves, and then we will actually rent from them as our business. And then we'll go in and fully furnish it, list it on all the different platforms and everything like that. There's another way where you can just buy an investment property and then just do it yourself there as well. So what I'm going to go into, it'll work on both ways. So as mentioned, we've been doing it since 2019. Right now I have a 4.9 star review on Airbnb with over 1,100 reviews. I'd like to take full credit, but my wife is very much involved with it as me. I mean, we've had our time back and forth. Right now I'm running everything, but for the last year and a half, she was running everything. So pretty awesome because a lot of the automated systems you can, they interact together. So when you learn them, it's easy to hand off to someone else. But so this is, so this is going to be all of our listings. Like I mentioned, we have 18, we have 4 in Provo, and then we have 14 in Cedar City. Majority of them are 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It just basically depends on who you want to serve, what clients you want, and things like that. And we'll go over that here in a little bit as well. So this is an example of our profile. This is our oldest unit. We've had since 2019. We have a 4.91 star review on there and over 155 reviews. This one's actually really cool. It's actually by Smith in Provo. There was an old church building that the owner went in, bought it, and renovated it, and turned it into a whole bunch of apartments. And so it's very nostalgic. It looks really, really cool from outside. I went over a couple of these things here, and I did want to point out this one. This is actually really interesting. It just is what it is. So these are our most recent reviews for this place right here. This one you'll learn about them with different reviews and stuff. So here she says, "This is an amazing church converted to apartments, great central location, right across from Smith grocery store, easy check-in and nice furnishing." She's very, very happy. She gave us a 4-star review. Some people just don't give 5-star reviews. You can't always make everyone happy, so don't lose sleep over it. One of our most recent ones, this one's funny. She rented our place because it was pet friendly. It sits on half an acre. It is fully fenced backyard. She mentioned that. Brick wall, gates, everything. She let us know. She was very happy with blah, blah, blah. On her review, it says, "It is not fully fenced and it is not pet friendly." But on her comment said the other things. So there's things like that that you can counteract with Airbnb and try to fight to get a review removed. But it is a very, very hard thing, but I can teach you how to do that later at a different time. So I just moved here from Cedar City in August, and they actually, I think it was like the 2nd, and Jen had already talked to me about teaching a little bit of this, and I got asked to teach on August 3rd, and I was like, no, I just moved in. So it's really nice though, because she said, I forgot her name. Tanya that does the.
Anna.
Yeah,
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
So she reached out and I was like, I can't do it now. She's like, okay, there might be time in October. So in my head, I was like, cool, I have like 2 months to prepare. I put this together last night, but with the help of my wife, I'll give her credit as well for sure. But in that time, in that process, I was thinking like, what should I teach? What should I want to teach it so that people can learn how to get those short-term rentals, or something that will benefit them in helping their clients. And so the other day, and this is what helped guide me to that direction. The other day, I'm part of a Facebook group where you have, professional hosts and different things like that. And I won't name any names, but there was a client that actually posted on there. I'm talking like a real estate agent client, posted on there saying, this place is ready to go, no HOA, Airbnb ready. And this was in Provo. And where I know the Provo's ins and outs of them, I thought maybe something had changed because they definitely were not in a spot that was legal for Airbnbs. And so I did my due diligence real quick first before I even mentioned it to them. And I didn't call her out on it. I was just like, hey, make sure you guys do your due diligence. You're representing something that's not true, type of thing. So to help your clients, I want to say that you're not, we only help in professionalism that we know, right? If you don't know an answer, usually you're like, well, I don't know that answer. Let me find someone that does. You're not going to give out too much information that you shouldn't give out. So some of the rules and regulations that we can talk about, making sure you're legit with the state, getting set up for taxes because you actually collect transient taxes. Airbnb actually and Verbo collect the taxes for you and then submit them, but you still need to make sure that you have your percentages right. Provo's 13.32 and Cedar City's 11.77. I just know those because my bookkeeper and accountant told me, but it's just something good to know because eventually when you want to do where you can make more money is you want to book them directly, like on your own website or a contract that you have with them. And then you have to be able to charge the taxes and you have to know how much to do. So, city, which we'll go into here in a little bit. A lot of cities have different ordinances, zoning, regulations. The ones I obviously know really well is Cedar City and Provo. Cedar City, for example, they're Cedar City and Enoch. They're essentially the same thing, but they're not. Enoch does not have any type of regulation. It's weird. There's nope, you can sleep 100 people if you want in this 2-bedroom place. Where Cedar City says you can only sleep 4 more than what you have a bedroom. So if you have a 3-bedroom, that's 2 per bedroom, and then 4 on top of that. That's part of their regulation. You also have to have a business license. You also have to provide parking for everyone and actually show proof of that. And the one that was crazy was you had to pull up Google Maps, and you actually have to send out a letter to everyone within 300 feet of the location that you're doing it at, and say this is this address, this is what we're doing. What was really cool is they said you can put your phone number on there if you want. If not, just put our phone number, and if they have any questions, they can reach out. Basically, they're backing you up. And you go down to St. George. I never wanted to break into that market because the restrictions are insane. And so I'm just like, no thanks. But another big one is the neighborhood, your HOAs and CC&Rs. They'll close you down faster than the city will close you. I would definitely have your clients look at those. The most common that I have seen is no less than 60 days stay. And then what was the other one? It was you can't rent to someone that's not related, third distance or something. I can't remember what it was. Basically, they're just out, out of the gate, so it can't happen. Now explain why we follow these rules and regulations, because you don't want to get shut down the next day after an investment, that is one thing with the way that we do the rental arbitrage. After we talk to the owners, we actually have an addendum that we had a lawyer type up for us that states that we're doing what we're doing. We're very transparent with them. We let them know everything because I like to sleep at night, so I don't have to worry about it. Building on here, the reason I have that one is because if you rent a place from a property management company, they can change overnight, and the new property management company might not deal with short-term rentals. We closed down 4 units in Provo because of that situation. It was a rough experience that we learned, but it is what it is. So my recommendation is to stay away from HOAs, property management companies that run a big complex like that, because you can have a property management that runs yours, so that's different. But so speaking of the lady, so this is my, you know, a little bit of due diligence that I did with the Provo area. So this is how you go and look at short-term rental. The word I want to use, stipulations or laws or regulations. So this is Provo. It actually says it is unlawful to maintain a short-term rental dwelling in any agriculture or residential zone. A short-term rental dwelling which is leased or rented more than one time in any 30-day period shall be prima facie evidence that the use of the building is a short-term rental dwelling. And then, so that's their code, and that's actually the reference to the code. So what that means is, I don't know how well you can see it. I'll show a little bit. A lot of these are, you know, R for residential, A for agriculture. So code says that you can have it in a, long story short, you can have it in the downtown district area. And if you can barely see, it's downtown right here. So I'll show a little bit more detail right here of that. So this is Freedom Boulevard, and this is University Avenue. And then Center Street. One thing is, this is technically the only legal spot that you can do it in trouble. And people don't realize that. So that lady that I was talking about, she wanted to do it like somewhere else over here. I was like, no, you can't do that, you know? Because if you have a client come to you and say, I want to buy this, you know, and I want to do short-term rentals in it, you can help them do this stuff, but make sure that they do their own due diligence as well. So this was really fascinating. So we did oh, yes, please. Yeah.
How far down does it go? Yeah.
So this is 500 north, it goes right up to 600 north. Yeah, and it's weird jogging, I don't know exactly what this is. The jogs, but yeah, it goes sort of 600 north, 200 east, 600 west, now to probably 500 south. We had one guy that he reached out to us. He had a place that was right here, I think it was. He had 11 units and wanted us to take over and do it. And I'll tell you what, that was popped up. And when he finally said, just do it, and if you get caught, you get caught. And I thought right then and there, like, no, we're not doing it. Because if that's what you think, I don't want to be affiliated with that, you know, type of thing. So this is an example. If you take this area right here, that's essentially just this right here, not this. So this is on Monday. There's 274 homes. And we did narrow it down to like full homes, not like basement, apartment, bedroom, things like that. On Monday, it showed that there's 274 homes available in Provo, and only 80 of them are actually moving. So people do it, but what I find funny is when the people that do it illegally and then complain about guests breaking their rules that they have, whether it be smoking, bringing an extra guest, things like that, you're breaking the rules too. So it's interesting. So and then I mentioned this a little bit, the cost of furnishing a place, and this will go, for example, why you want to follow the rules and stuff, because you're making an investment. On the low end, to furnish a 3-bedroom, 2-bath is about $15,000, and this is varied. This is depending on who you want to serve, who your clients are, and I'll show you a couple different avatars that you can think about and whatnot. But let's say that you go and open up a new unit, or your client opens up a new unit, and you're like, yeah, no, you're good. This place is great, blah, blah, blah. And then they get shut down the same day. To resell that property, because, you know, let's say they're upset and they're not happy about it, they're only going to get a third of half because it's used, even if it's next day. So it's pretty crazy to think about that. And this is low end. I mean, we have some apartments in Cedar City that, we were able to get away with 15,000. But the actual homes in Cedar City were about 25,000. You know, but again, we made sure that we were in regulation and doing it correctly, so. Comes to mind, which is funny, talking about doing the rental arbitrage method, like I mentioned, we would talk to owners. My wife and I were watching this fourplex that just got built, and it was listed on Facebook Market and Cedar City Blog Up, things like that. And we just kept watching it, no one wanted to rent it. And it was on there for almost a month and a half. So I reached out and said, hey, this is what we do. You know, there's different ways to do it, but that's for another day. But this is what we do, and this is what we want to do. And so she said, well, let me have you talk to my brother. I said, okay, which was awesome because I went to school with her brother. And I was sitting there talking to him, explained to him what we wanted. We met at the place, and so he goes, okay, so which one do you want out of the 4? And I said, I want all of them. And he jokingly said, well, I have another fourplex coming up in 2 months. Do you want those too? And I said, yes. And he's like, hold on, are you being serious? And I said, yeah. And I mean, the conversation changed completely because we're making a huge investment into these that we want to be able to, you know, lock something up pretty significantly. When we got our Provo units, it was crazy because the guy that we got him from, he just built a new place behind the old church building that I was talking about, and it looks almost like it. He was having a hard time getting renters in there. And so we were able to negotiate 3 units and get the first month rent free on all 3 of them. And it just, I mean, it changes with time. You can still do the rental arbitrage. You just got to make sure numbers work. They're completely different now. One of our places in Cedar City that's pet friendly, we pay $1,800 a month for it. It's a townhome. One just got listed for sale, like $329,900, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll buy this. Because phase 3 of our business, we want to own the properties, you know, so that we can get the other benefits of that instead of doing the rental arbitrage. But I mean, your mortgage is $2,500 to $2,800 a month. The rental arbitrage method doesn't work that way, you know, and your profits are a little bit different. So, profits are, we get asked all the time, you know, how much do you make, type thing. The best way to look at it is in Utah, you probably average about $400 to $600 profit per bedroom per month. We rent out the whole home, but the best way to look at it is $400 to $600 per bedrooms. Finding properties. This goes into effect of who do you want to serve. So this goes into the other part that I wanted to teach a little bit more of, because we had talked about, you know, ways to get your clients ready, get them, make sure that they're doing the right things. This is if you want to take on Airbnb, or even if you want to help your clients. These are different avatars that you want. You'll want probably 3 of them. And this will help out decide, you know, who you want to serve, what type of place you want, and then what type of furnishings you want in there, which will differentiate the amount of money that you're going to spend to furnish the place. So these are a couple different ones that you can think about. Other paper. So you have corporate people. That's okay. These are people, you know, doing training sessions, sales people, contractors. We love construction crews. We have slow months in Cedar City, and we will have construction crews come in and book our place for 30 to 60 days. You do take the loss of, you know, dirty linens and some damaged linens and stuff, because I mean, we provide white towels with everything. And when they're out working in the fields all day, they don't become white anymore. And then you just chalk it up as a loss at the time, you know. We don't charge our guests for damaged towels and stuff like that, because it is what it is. Every single thing, set of linens and stuff that we have are actually all the same, and that's because then we can interact them with all the 14 units in Cedar City, and then all of our Provo ones, you can do the same with all 4. Different life events that people are coming for: weddings, funerals, graduations, entertainment events such as concerts, sporting events, like I mentioned, BYU, go BYU. I said that. But, you know, like I said, I mean, this guy, I got a booking last night. He's bringing his boy coming to a BYU football game for 2-3 nights, paying $115 a night. I'll cheer for BYU for that. That's all right.
You're not coming to cheer for BYU, or they cheer for the
They're cheering for all this.
There you
Yeah, no, exactly. Or, yeah, it's kind of. Yeah. Good. But then that's what's funny actually, because a lot of people, I'd probably say 9 out of 10 are those that are coming not for BYU. And then you get occasional ones that do come for BYU, but so it's pretty cool.
Is that a 3-bedroom that you charge?
No, that's actually just a 1-bedroom in Provo, yeah. So, because our clientele, what we wanted to focus on here was the business traveler, BYU parents, and then events, because we're really close to, oh, what's that place in Provo, the convention center in Provo, like walking distance. And so it's, I mean, we were targeting towards that as well, right? But and we'll change our title every once in a while, you know, to say BYU or something like that, because that's what inclines them, you know. So like right now, we're gonna be right now in Cedar City, our titles will say something like Hike Zion or Bryce, because we're pretty 50-50 between the two. People will come and visit for the weekend and actually hike both of them. Here soon, we'll change it to Bryan Head, Ski Utah, or Ski Bryan Head. You just change it to what it is during the season and stuff. So it's interesting though, because Bryan Head has a lot of short-term rentals, but the amount nightly that you'd have to spend, you could save money by staying in Cedar City and pay for gas to go up. And it's nice when people realize that, and we get people that comment it all the time. So it's pretty cool. The one that I find really fascinating on here that a lot of people don't think about is the emergencies. Right now, we're actually hosting someone in Cedar City that the landlord, something had happened, they have to remodel the bathroom. And so the landlord put them into our place for, they're going on 5 weeks, not 6 weeks. Insurance companies, you can actually go out to insurance companies and say, hey, if you ever need to place someone in a home, we have places that are fully furnished, you know, and they pay. You know, you have your going rate, whatever it is, but they'll pay it, and it's no questions that it's paid. What's really cool about doing like what we call direct bookings, because we have our own website and we have our own contract that was typed up through a lawyer. We actually had a call last night, my wife did. It was like, hey, do you have anything available in Provo? And I was like, no, we don't. You know, how long do you need for? And what had happened, it was actually our good friend's friend needed a place for a domestic violence type of thing. And so she needed to be placed somewhere. Well, it's a little bit hard because you book them directly, but then in a way we accept cash for that. Very, very special situations, we'll accept cash. That way, if a credit card's ran, the husband or wife don't see that transaction and know that they're staying in an Airbnb, and then they're gonna start trying to find them. You know, you'd be very private. Our listings, actually, we don't show any photos of exterior for that reason as well, and also for the privacy of our guests. I've had people all the time ask for it, and I said, you know, we send them, you know, before they check in, so they know that they're going to the right place. But you don't want guests driving around and looking, because you get some weird people out there. I mean, we had one lady in Cedar City that she drove by, and she said, and took a picture actually and sent it to us. I was like, hey, is this the place we're staying? And I'm like, what are you doing? Now, because we provide the address, right? But I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, there's people staying in there. And so it's, you get some weird ones. But that's all right. So if you're going to be doing the short-term rentals yourself, these are some things that you might want to look into, consider. This will help you, you know, tone in the people that you're serving. Because you, like I mentioned, you want those different avatars. The big reason though with avatars is because you're not going to be hosting a family that's on vacation, as well as a business traveler that's coming for an event. You know, your vacation rental with the family that's on vacation, you want, you know, a 3, 4, or 5 bedroom home, where the business traveler only needs a 1 bedroom. So figure out the avatar. You do randomly get some of the mix, which is okay, you know. Like I mentioned, we'll have parents that'll come to BYU to visit their kids, and they'll bring 4, you know, mom and dad are out, and they'll put 4 on there just because their kids might come stay with them a night, something like that. So we have sleeper sofa in our units. We like to take advantage of what space that we can. So Provo, we can sleep up to 4. And then in Cedar City, we can sleep up to 8. There's a little trick. My wife's not here. She tells me all the time that I tell too much, but I'll tell it anyways. There's a little trick that you can benefit off of. So we have the 4plexes. We have a couple 4plexes in Cedar City. And we have 2 units that are downstairs and 2 units that are upstairs. Well, on Airbnb, the max that you can put is 16. It's really weird. So we actually put the 2 units downstairs as 1 unit. So then when we get big groups that come, we come up on search results, whether you're searching for 1 person or 16 people. And so we come up on all those results. So definitely take advantage of that if you can, because it's pretty big. You want to look at different things such as like what they do for their job, their annual income, level of education, what influencers they might follow, what conferences they're coming for, books they read, find out the reasons for traveling, the primary reason, whether it be for business or pleasure, whatever it is. Likes about traveling, dislikes about traveling. A lot of people that usually stay in the short-term rentals, they want a home away from home. They like to actually be able to cook inside their place. And even though we provide photos, we still have a lot of people that'll ask, do you have a crock pot? Do you have this? Like, yep, we do. And it's nice to say yes, because then they feel like, okay, we can have a full meal there. And Thanksgiving, all the time, we get people to host Thanksgiving in our places because they're providing that. That's another big thing. I'm talking about that you can sleep this many. You want to make sure that you can actually sit that many as well. There's nothing worse than bringing a family of 6 or 8, but there's only seating for like 4. So make sure that you have seating for as much as you sleep. That's pretty important. Systems. This is how to operate different things. This is actually my favorite thing, and I'll explain. These are a couple different systems that we have. Keep forgetting it's up there. Calendar management, pretty important. Guest communication. There's times that I will get a booking. Actually, a lot of times we'll get bookings, and I won't do a single thing besides change a door code, because we have automated systems that go out, and I could tell you why they're coming, who's coming, when they're leaving, and what they're coming for, all through just automated messages that we have that go out. And it's funny because on reviews things that we get back, people will say, oh, they were so good at communication, very responsive, and it's like, it's all automated. Now, so it makes it pretty nice. I'd look into it a little bit more with AI to see if that's something that's actually very good responsive. So that'd be cool. These are a couple that we use. They're written in the smaller portion. So for calendar management and guest communication, we use what's called Hospitable. There's other ones out there. We've tested a couple different ones, but these are the ones that we like quite a bit. For the security of the place, we use Vivint. We have exterior doorbell cameras. We have motion sensors. We have carbon monoxide sensors, fire alarm sensors, motion sensors. And then we use specific locks because we can actually change them remotely. So last year we were in Disneyland, and my reminder come up on the phone is like, change your codes. And so I said, okay, I need to work for 5 minutes. And I changed like 4 door codes, and I was done for the day. So it was really nice to be able to do that remotely and take care of it. Noise aware. It does not record conversation, but it records decibel levels. So you can set a threshold. And when they go over that, then that allows you to know, that if they're too loud and stuff like that. I'd say probably 9 out of 10 times they're watching a movie and it's a part of the movie where it gets pretty loud. And so you can see that and it'll go down. If it stays up for so long, then it's a way to help you prevent parties and things like that. Managing cleaners. It was called Turnover. Now it's called Turno. This is really cool. You can actually find cleaners on there. You can put out what you have, and they'll put out bids, and you can, choose to accept that. You can do all the screening that you want. One thing that's really cool in Turnover or Turno is they actually will select their 1099 and send it out to them. 1099. Okay, yeah, I know what it is, but I just can't think of it. but they'll actually send it out to them and everything, so you don't have to. It's really cool. They'll collect all that information. All the cleanings are just automated, so when you have a booking that comes up, it'll actually send out to all the cleaners that are on your team of that, and they can choose to accept it or deny it. We don't have any actual employees. They're all subcontractors or, you know, and it's pros and cons for sure. Just because of this last weekend, we had 9 checkouts in Cedar City, and we only have 4 cleaners. You know, only so many of them can do 2 in a day. And as some rejected it, and it's like, that's fine, you know, we'll still reach out and ask if they can or not, or extend it to another day if we have to, but they can choose to clean or not. And then on the same note, you can say, you know what, you're not doing as good as we thought. We'll see you later. Managing team members is, we use what's called Slack. It's been wonderful. You can create different channels and stuff like that. A group one for all of them. So if there's a cleaning that's coming up that someone hasn't accepted, we can say, we have this cleaning this day, it's the same day, who can take it? And you send it out to them. Or if you want an individual one, so we have cleaners that they've proved themselves, and we only allow them, they're the only ones that we allow to clean our homes, because people that stay in the homes pay quite a bit more than what they do for the apartments. And so we want them to be higher and get nicer. So pricing, we use what's called price slabs. You can set like a minimum where you don't want your dollar amount to go below. I ask my wife all the time, you know, what's the pricing for this place? And for a while, she's just like, I don't know, I have to look at it. I'm like, no, just tell me the price. But price slabs will actually pull different events that are happening that you don't even know about. So this last weekend, we didn't know that there was a huge mountain bike high school championship in Cedar City. And so the prices went way up, and we're like, what the heck? And they were booked out like 2 months in advance. But that's something that we would have never known, and we could have lost lots of money not knowing that. And so having a pricing system is really, really big, especially finding those different events. Here's an example of what hospitable looks like. So there's all of our units. We can go in and look at the calendar. We can see who's staying with us, whatnot, and we can direct message them from here alone. Doesn't have to be through Airbnb. This is an example of one of those automated messages that I was talking about. You know, so these things in like purple and green, those are codes that we've put in. And then you can put it for a specific unit. So it's just something very simple. As soon as someone books with us, this message goes out. What's really cool is Airbnb will actually judge you on your response time and actually rate you. If you don't respond within the first 7 minutes, it's frowned upon for the algorithm, so where you appear in the search results. And so we have automated messages go out right after. You know, whether it be a booking inquiry, whether it be a booking or anything like that. So it's really cool. It just confirms, you know, where they're staying, how many guests, nights. Even though they'll put in how many guests are coming, we still ask for insurance purposes to provide the following. So funny, they'll be like, oh, there's 4 of us. We put 1 on the reservation. You know, for a while we thought it was because they're trying to hide it, because some people will charge for extra guests. We don't charge until after 6, because then you're not using the normal linens that you're using, and then we charge after 6. But and so it's like, okay, well, let me change it for Airbnb's policy and stuff like that. And they said it doesn't charge an extra. It's weird to think about it, but if a fire happens or an earthquake happens or something like that, and they reach out to us and say, how many people are staying in the unit? We say 1, because that's put on there, and there's really 6 in there. You know, so it's not like you're trying to hide it and try to think for your safety as well. You can do little tricks like this for an early check-in offer. So this only goes out if we have the day before open. It's just a nice little way that you can bring additional income in, and then we give like times, like if I'm taking this time, this much, taking this time, this much. And the reason is because if we have to get cleaner or clean faster, and we need to pay for another cleaner to come in, okay then. One thing that we've done, and we've always done it, and I love it, our cleaning rate is the same amount that we pay our cleaners. We don't make any money on that at all. You know, we might collect an extra $5 so that we can replace linens and stuff over time, but we will do a wash, you know, and we pay our cleaners a living wage for what they do, so. Couple ways that you can actually operate your Airbnbs and short-term rentals. You can host them yourself. You can co-host them, so you can have someone else operate them for you, and they get a percentage. It all depends on how much work you want to be doing, how much you don't want to do, whether you want to do the communication, whether you want to do finding the cleaners, schedule and all that, or if you just want to be hands-off completely. There's different companies out there. I haven't branched into it quite yet of doing the co-hosting, but I think it's very, very close. Or as I mentioned, you can pay for a property management company to run them. There's not as many out there, but there are some. And so, and they just run them for you, so it's pretty cool. So the most important takeaway, I think today, would just be to do your due diligence. I could tell you all this information, been doing it for X amount of years, very credible. However, still do your due diligence, not just because Tyler said that I can do it here in Provo. I can do it here in Provo. So make sure that you're doing it. And even though you tell your clients, say that you help them, like, yes, this is short-term rental approval or approved from the city, still tell them to do their due diligence like you would anything else, because you don't want that to come back and bite you. So that's pretty much what I have for now. Honestly, I love to talk about it. I'm an open book with it. I don't look at people as competition really, because we're serving different people. I've paid for numerous coaching to help out with this and to get where we're at. My wife, like I said, all the time tells me that I share too much information. So if she's not around, I can tell you a lot of tricks and trades about short-term rentals. But honestly, I mean, you can shoot me a text, you can call me. I don't care. There's our direct website that we have. We need a little bit more work with that, but I'm talking with someone about that. That's pretty cool. But do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Anyone on Zoom? I didn't see if there was any questions or anything there. So, but well, that's it. Oh yeah, please. Got a question.
What happens if you are legal in, zone legal, do not bring, but the neighbors complain? Because you said that neighbors.
HOAs.
Okay,
Neighbors, it's hit or miss.
and they have any say?
They can complain and complain and complain, but as long as you're legal, there's nothing that can be done. So what I would do to try to prevent that is, when you set up your place, go take them a pizza or a gift certificate and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. This is my investment property. I'm putting a lot of money into this. I want you to be my eyes on the ground. Here's my phone number. If you see anything out of the norm, if something's wrong, contact me. And then they feel important to an extent, right? And so that's pretty good too. That's a good way to get with the neighbors and what.
Because when multiple, so you might be legal at the time, and it might not even be your neighbors that are complaining, but other neighbors complain. You end up with regulation.
That's why we always recommend people just do everything legally. I mean, it's funny because I've heard people, I don't know why they say, I don't know where they got these from, but they're like, oh, the city employees only look for illegal Airbnbs between 3 and 6. So just turn off your listing during that time. I'm like, what do you mean? Why? But if you're just doing it legally, it's go to bed at night, wake up in the morning. Like, you don't ever have to worry about it. Especially like I mentioned, you're putting anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000 into furnishing this place, and you don't want to lose it. Resale on furniture is not good. But I guess here's another nice little trick that I always recommend, and it's funny. People love king beds, and if you do king beds throughout the whole thing. Don't do 2 kings and 1 queen, because when your laundry service goes through it and mixes up those linens, and then your cleaner goes in to put sheets on a king bed and it's queen, then you run into other issues. So even our sleeper sofas, whether they're full or queens, there's still king sheets that go on them because of that. And the only difference that we have is twins. And if you can't tell the difference between a king and a twin, then find someone else. Yeah, you got a problem. So, well, okay, well, that's it. I've been told that everyone that showed up today has to take 2 from each box of donuts. Or Giselle brought donuts, and then the ladies that came up, they're like, we brought donuts too. So there's lots of donuts. So, but yeah, that's it for me. Again, feel free to reach out, honestly, text, call, whatever. I'm willing to help if you have clients. Drew's posted on the Facebook group about things, and I've, commented, and I usually follow up with, make sure you still do your own due diligence, even though I tell you this is what it is. Do your research. So that's it.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.